Long ago, there lived a king named Midas, ruler of a prosperous kingdom. His hands were fertile, his people were content, and his palace overflowed with riches. Yet despite already possessing more wealth than almost anyone alive, Midas was never satisfied. Every piece of gold he gained only made him desire more. He spent his days counting treasures, admiring jewelry, and becoming, well, the richest man the world had ever seen, and he dreamt of becoming even more so. One day, the god Dionysus wished to reward Midas for showing kindness to one of his companions. Appearing before the king, Dionysus said, "You have done me a great service. I will grant you one wish. Whatever you ask for shall be yours." And Midas hardly needed to think. "If I may ask for anything," he said, "then let everything I touch turn to gold." Dionysus hesitated. He understood the danger hidden within such a wish and urged the king to think carefully. But Midas was certain there could be no greater gift. Seeing that the king would not change his mind, Dionysus granted the wish. The following morning, Midas awoke, eager to test his new power. He reached out and touched the wooden post of his bed. Instantly, it became solid gold. Smiling with delight, he touched a chair, then a table, then the doors of his palace. Everywhere his hands went, ordinary objects transformed into glittering gold. He walked through his gardens, laughing as flowers became golden blossoms and branches became shining metal. He believed himself to be the happiest and most fortunate man on earth. As the day wore on, Midas grew hungry and sat down for a feast. He picked up a piece of bread, but of course the moment he touched it, his fingers, well, it became a lump of gold. He reached for fruit, and it too turned to gold before he could taste it. He lifted a cup of wine to his lips, and only to find once more that it had become liquid metal. No matter what he tried to eat or drink, everything became gold. His wonderful gift had become a terrible curse. As he sat in despair, his beloved daughter came running into the room. Seeing her father distressed, she hurried to comfort him and threw her arms around him. Without thinking, Midas embraced her. In an instant, she too became solid gold. Her laughter vanished, her warmth disappeared, and she stood motionless before him, transformed into a lifeless golden statue. The king fell to his knees in horror. All the wealth he had ever desired suddenly meant nothing. His mountains of gold could not speak to him, love him, or forgive him. The one thing he truly valued had been taken away from him by his own greed. Overcome with grief, Midas cried out to Dionysus. "Please," he begged, "take this gift away from me. I have been a fool. I would give away all my riches if only I could hold my daughter again." Dionysus took pity on the broken king. He told Midas to travel to the river Pactolus and wash himself in its waters. Midas hurried there without delay. As he stepped into the river, the magical power flowed out of him and into the water. From that day on, the legend says that the sands of the river glittered with gold. Freed from the curse, Midas rushed home. When he embraced his daughter once more, she returned to life exactly as she had been before. And from that day onward, King Midas no longer measured his life by the amount of gold he possessed. He understood that wealth could never replace love, family, friendship, or the simple things that make life worth living. And so, story of King Midas reminds us that getting everything we think we want does not always bring us happiness. Sometimes our greatest desires, pursued without wisdom, become the very things that rob us of what matters most. And so that is the story of King Midas. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.